Well, the weekend's also been dominated by that insurgent attack on Camp Bastion. No British fatalities, but 2 American Marines were killed. Let's go back to Ali Gibson at Camp Bastion. And Ali, you've been piecing together what happened.
Yes, it all began around 10 o'clock on Friday night. 15 insurgents broke through the perimeter fence here that surrounds Camp Bastion, launching an attack on the airfield. Dressed in US Army uniforms and armed with automatic rifles, RPG launchers and suicide vests, the insurgents destroyed 6 American Harrier jets and damaged 2 more. They also attacked 3 refuelling stations and helicopters. 2 US Marines were killed in the attack and 8 ISAF personnel were injured. Troops from across Camp Bastion were involved, including members of the fire service and force protection. The Taliban released an amateur video showing what they claim was the aftermath of the attack, though there are questions over its origin. But the chairman of the US Joint Chiefs insists this wasn't an inside job. General Martin Dempsey said, "We pulled the intelligence string, we and the Brits, and the initial assessment is that it was a breach of the perimeter, and there is no indication at this point that it was aided by anyone inside." The attack follows protests across the Muslim world over a US film that is said to insult the Prophet Muhammad. But the Taliban have been quick to use Prince Harry's presence at Camp Bastion as another motive. ISAF say an investigation is ongoing. Well, this afternoon, Defence Secretary Philip Hammond spoke about this issue in the Commons as the Speaker granted an urgent question to the opposition. He said that with a perimeter of 40 kilometres, Camp Bastion is very difficult to defend, especially against a suicidal enemy.
UK and US forces responded to the incident. The UK Force Protection Wing, Quick Reaction Force, which is made up from 51 Squadron, the RAF Regiment, deployed immediately, engaged the insurgents, killing 14 and wounding 1 who has been taken into custody. 2 US Marine Corps service members were killed, 13 coalition personnel, 12 military, 1 civilian, were wounded in the attack. None of the injuries are considered life-threatening. Mr. Speaker, there is no denying that this is a significant incident. Immediate measures have been taken to enhance protection of the base, and a full investigation is underway, led by the Deputy Commander of ISAF, UK General Adrian Bradshaw, to ensure lessons are learnt and that such a perimeter breach does not happen again. Our force protection posture, including the protection of our bases, is routinely addressed and kept under constant review by military commanders to reflect the situation on the ground. I am sure the House will understand that for operational reasons, I am unable to discuss force protection measures in fine detail.
The Defence Secretary Philip Hammond speaking in Parliament earlier. So, Ali, in the aftermath of that attack, what's the situation now in Camp Bastion?
There's been a raised threat level here since that attack. We've been advised at certain times to keep our body armour with us, and personnel are remaining vigilant. But there's also very much a focus here on trying to get things back to normal. There was a huge clear-up operation at the weekend to make sure that the runway at Camp Bastion was reopened quickly. We were actually on the first fixed-wing flight back into Camp Bastion on Sunday afternoon. The runway itself was closed for around 30 hours, but helicopters were able to fly. The RIP, or the changeover of troops here from Op Herrick 16 to 17, is happening a lot at the moment. So personnel are working around the clock to make sure that movement of troops in and out of theatre isn't disrupted too much.